Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Rob, and today I'm going to take you through getting the Pacifist achievement for Cuphead. Now, what that entails is going through all 6 run and gun levels without killing an enemy. Now, I guess technically you can parry kill enemies, the pink ones, but what we're talking about here is not shooting. Don't shoot anything. I think you can actually technically shoot an enemy as long as they don't die and still get the Pacifist achievement, but don't take that risk. Just stay off the shoot button, you should be fine. What you're going to do is use your jump and invincible dash and your super R2, which is your invincibility super, to get through all 6 run and gun levels without having to kill anything. So what you're seeing here is me going through the overworld. I'm basically just showing you that I got the P flag in all the run and gun levels, and you get a P flag when you get a pacifist run. And so a lot of these that you're going to see, well, I say a lot, but there's only 6 total. I think maybe half of them were the original pacifist run. And you'll be able to tell because when it gives me a grade, if it says I improved to a pacifist run, then it's one I had done. That's my first run, my first pacifist run to get through it. Some of them I had to record. I was going to say re-record, but not really. Some of them I went through and didn't record, so I had to go back and do them again and record it. But I already had a pacifist run. So this turtle here is the guy that kind of gives you the initial clue to maybe try getting through the level without shooting anybody. And once you do that, once you do all 6 and get P flags on all 6 run and gun levels, you come and talk to him, and he unlocks 2 options that are pretty cool. One's a audio option that allows you to get kind of old, timey sound, like really tinny mono sound. And the other one is a visual option that allows you to play in black and white, which is pretty cool too. Now, if you combine those two, it already kind of looks like, they did a really good job of making it look like it's a 1930 cartoon, but it even makes it like even more of a throwback. I know you got the film grain and all that, but check it out. This is what it looks like with the black and white filter on, and you can definitely tell the difference in the sound. Now, this guy up here in the fork guy, that's a totally different achievement than that. I think you have to get an A on everything in order to get that achievement. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here with the strategy here. So this is the first level, and I played this a bunch of times, and this was kind of a weird run. You see that flower guy stuck on the stump there? He's normally not up there. Maybe 10% of the time that happens. And when that happens, the layout of the guys are a little bit different, but like that part right there is always the same. You have to stop before that little pink thing. I always stop at that little purple flower as well. But for the most part, I'm just chugging to the right. I try not to jump. Of course, I have to jump there. But I try to, see right there, I just dash through stuff. I find that I have more control. Here's the real trick on this first level. You have to let the mushroom throw one of those pink balls so you can parry over that acorn machine. If you don't allow that, and then I got hit there. None of these are going to be perfect runs, by the way. But you don't need them because anything that as long as you get through it without killing anybody, you're going to get a P rating for pacifist, so it doesn't matter if you do it perfectly or not. There's no like P plus rating or anything. But anyway, going back to that part, that was the only real trick. If you get to the that part of the stage and you fall off the cliff and they don't throw the mushroom doesn't throw that pink puff ball, you'll never get it and you have to restart the level. So make sure that you have a pink puff ball before you drop down from that cliff so you can get over that acorn machine. This is the second level on the first island, the second running gun level. It's actually, I think, much easier. The first one, there was kind of some hairy parts in that first part that you're just going to get trial and error. But on this one, it's pretty straightforward. There are times where I have to stop, like there. But for the most part, I just, press on. That's one thing, that's like a general tip for any of these runs is don't be afraid. Like, don't dilly-dally. Don't sit there for like 10, 15 seconds trying to like make a perfect run. Just go. And just have confidence and go. I think that I do much better than when I try to be super careful and not get hit. I end up just getting hit. So see right here, I mean, sometimes you'll be amazed at the moves that you can make. But just be confident and just keep going. If you get hit, no big deal. Just retry. No big deal. I mean, you have infinite retries, right? So there's really no trick on this particular level. You just kind of get through it. You just get to know the level. Just run. It's almost like you can play it like a speed run. Once you get to the boss here, you don't have to kill it. In fact, you can't kill it because you won't get the pacifist achievement. So the only way to get through it is to dash through it. So that's what I did there. No big secret. There are a couple of times where you have to dash through the bosses. There's one time where there's a mid boss in this coming level, I think, where actually is it this level or the next one? Yeah, wait. Yeah, it's this one. So on this level, you actually have to build up a super to get through the mid boss without getting hit. So there are pink balloons that show up every once in a while. Well, not every once in a while. They will show up. They're kind of random. Sometimes they're at the beginning, but this one happens to be at the end. So I was just waiting around for it. Once you find a pink balloon, parry it 5 times, and you build up a super. And here I am just dashing through stuff. Anytime you're going to get hit, just hit dash. And you'll be surprised at how many jams it gets you out of. So that's why I recommend the dash. So once I build up the super, you just move on forward. Again, I go pretty quickly through this part here. Again, the invincible dash is super awesome. It gets you through all these tight spots. There, it actually can get you through there, but you have to time your jump so that you dash between the middle and the high cannon. And here's where you got to use the super. This guy is so wide, you cannot dash through him. You're always going to get hit. So the only way to get through him is to use your super. Anyway, this part, going through these pretzels, I've seen videos where people go over it. I don't know why. That seems insane to me. It's so much easier to just stay low and dash under them. But when you get to the end here, I don't do it successfully. But you can actually dash through that hot dog. If you got enough hit points, no big deal. Just dash. If you get hit, whatever. You still get through. Again, there is no rating higher than P. You can see the top grade was P from before. So this was one of the ones I had to replay to record it. But there's no grading higher than P, so if you get hit, whatever. It doesn't even keep track of that. So just move on. This next one here is kind of funky because I do a lot of it upside down. You can duck under that duck. Well, that sounds kind of weird. But you can duck under that big duck. But I just, because I kind of go quickly, I just dash through it. So this part here, you just have to get through the mouth. And I'll admit that usually doesn't happen, but I got it on the first try. Usually have to wait a little bit. For this part, just hold to the right, dash through things. This part, you have to dash. That part, if you do not dash, you'll get hit. Or you can just be a little bit more patient and wait it out. But I don't like to be very patient. I kind of run these like speed runs. So, and you don't even have to jump. I jump a couple times there, but there, see, I didn't jump at all. And I was able to clear it from... this one's a little tricky. And I got through it okay. This one I should have gone through okay, but I didn't because I was impatient. If you allow him to blow the horn, he gets lower to the ground, so makes it easier to dash through. And this part here is just like the other wall. You just need to get into the mouth while it's open, and you just gotta wait for an opening. So there's always 2 sets of lips and then the tongue, and you just gotta wait for an opening. Like right there, I decided to just dash through it, dash through that set of lips there to get through the wall instead of waiting. So yeah, we are, I think, halfway through, more than halfway through actually, 2/3 of the way through all the levels here. And now we're on aisle 3 and things get a little hard. This one took me a while. Again, I'm kind of speed running here. That guy there, he doesn't always appear at the end. Sometimes he's kind of more near the front of that platform and it kind of messes me up. This part's kind of tricky. Just get really close and allow yourself to get pushed back quite a bit so that the pickaxe doesn't catch you. On this part here, I actually spent a little bit too much time on this platform, but what I'm waiting for is that opening so I can get right on the edge. See, I touched his foot, but it didn't count as a hit. So that's the only way I can even imagine of getting past that guy without getting hit. So you just have to jump right in front of the ledge and just jump and dash over him. This part, I try to stay still as much as possible, but the dragon really makes it tough. Those little mud monsters aren't too bad. It's that stupid dragon. You can parry the pink ones. Again, I find it more simple just to like ignore them. Once you get to this part was kind of tough. Try not to jump. Just stay grounded. I find it a lot when you finally get the pink little oil, whatever that is, then you can finally get over the wall. This thing, no big deal. Just jump over it, dash. Here's another one of those really crazy walls. So those little pig dudes, man, they're so easy when you're shooting, but when you're not, I mean, they're just a nightmare. but luckily I was able to get over there. And if you finish this level before, and you should, if you're doing pacifist runs, you should have already completed all these levels normally. It's no big deal. There's no difference between this and the way you would normally do it, pacifist run or not. The hard part is getting to this part. One thing to note is when you do dashes, including these invincible dashes, you can actually control the distance. You're not at the mercy of like just, you know, like the dash is a certain distance. You'll see a lot of times I'm going to look like I'm falling straight down. I'm kind of off screen, but I put like right there. See, I fall kind of straight down. That's because I'm dashing. Then I push left so that I don't dash so far. So you do have some control. Like right there, I did it again. And just get used to it. The dash is the best thing in the whole game. It's more, I think it's more powerful than any of the guns because you can get through the whole level without, I mean, you can't do this on the boss levels, but you can get through all these running levels just with that dash. It's amazing. So I find that now when I play the game, I tend to do it in a pacifist style most of the time and not shooting things. But anyway, this is the last level. Again, I dash a lot. I'd rather dash than jump. There I have to do both. Sometimes I do jump, like a no jump here. But I try to stay grounded. It just makes it so much easier for me. These crab things, I like to stay on the ground. The only thing you have to be careful about is kind of stay a little far away because they can change direction super quick. Like, you know, they bump into each other or bump into the edge there, and they change direction very quickly, so just be wary of that. Here's what I like to call Larry the Lobster because my kids watch SpongeBob, and that's what it reminds me of. But the only trick here is just jump up on that crate so that he throws a lightning up in the air. It makes it a lot easier to avoid for me. Other than that, pretty straightforward. This is kind of tricky. You have to dash early so that you still have some ledge there when you finish the dash. And then this is the hardest part. So getting to the head isn't a big deal, but riding this octopus, there's just so much going on that things, you know, those shooting those white bubbles from behind, and then the shrimp are going crazy, and then the tentacles are going crazy. I find it easier to just kind of stay to the front, like towards the right eye. You do have to hit that gem every once in a while in order to shoot cannonballs to break down the walls. If you don't do that, he runs into a wall and sinks, which makes you die. So it just kind of takes a little bit of practice. I mean, a lot of practice and a little bit of luck is what I meant to say. But once you see that pier, just go for it. I mean, don't wait for him to get all the way to the pier. Jump out there and dash and get the heck out of there because that is definitely the hardest part. I think that took me longer than any other part of any of these runs. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to help you out. Yeah, this game's super fun. One of my favorite games of all time, I think, for the Xbox, at least Xbox One. Probably my game of the year. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, guys. Here are a couple of videos. Check them out. Subscribe and like if you feel like it. All right, till next time.